Hello, grade 5. Welcome to the social class. Today we are going to learn about Unit 4, Today and the Future, Lesson 3, Economies of the Middle East. From your student book, page number 118 till 125, and on your activity book, page number 65 till page number 71. Okay, let us see our objectives. What is economics? We are going to learn that what is an economics. The economic patterns of various early people, so how it was used before, the economy and factors that affect it, how the economy is being affected and what are those factors, what is supply and demand, how people earn a living. Let us see some vocabulary words first so we can understand what we are learning about. Commodity, a product that can be bought or sold. Example, a scarf, a car, or a loaf of a bread. So anything we buy, any product. Commodity basically is a second name for a product. Labor, the work required to provide goods or services. So when we need some work, some work and time, basically some work to do that, to provide that product or the services, that's known as labor. Value, what something is worth. Cost of raw material plus cost of labor plus any other production cost. Let's suppose if I ask if you buy, if you are going to produce a dress. Now for producing that dress, it's not like just you produce a dress. First of all, you are going to buy a cloth, then you have to design it, then you will buy the needle, the machines, and the colors, the patterns, whatever you want to put on it. You will buy that all the things, all the raw materials. Then you cost a labor, you need some people to work on. Then after that you will complete that product. You are not going to, let's suppose you buy that cloth for 50 real. So it doesn't mean you are going to sell that dress for 50 real because you utilize more money on it. So maybe you are going to sell that for 150 real. So that's a value. Middleman. Middleman is someone that arrange business between two other people or business. So the person who is in the middle, that's a middleman. Let's suppose I need to start a business. I'm Mr. A. And on the other side, I have Mr. C. So I want to start a business with Mr. C. So let's suppose Mr. B is my friend. He's saying that, okay, I will settle some business arrangements between you and Mr. C. So who is Mr. B? Mr. B is a middleman who is arranging the business between two of us. Entrepreneurship, someone that starts and develops a business. So anyone who has a new idea for doing something, so that's an entrepreneurship. Any business which was not there before and we just started and give a new idea. So that's an entrepreneurship. So let's see what is economics. Economics explains us about the way people make, offer, and use goods and services for money. So anything we make, we offer the product or the goods, or we use that. That's all depends on money. And this all is related to the economics. In our daily life, we use many commodities. We know that what are the commodities? We are talking about the products. So it requires labor to produce these commodities. If you have, again, if you need to make a dress, so for making that dress, you need some people who can help you to stitch that dress. So that's a labor. Supply and demand. Ibn Khaldun identified the principle of supply and demand. He was the father of social sciences in the Arab world. He lived during the 14th century. So let us see what is supply and demand. Supply means the availability of any product, anything which is available. So that's a supply. Demand. Demand means how much people want that product. What is the need of that product? How much people need it? Let's see the relation between supply and demand. We will see this chart to check that how supply and demand works and how price affects with the increase or the decrease of supply and demand. So we can see in the picture there is a girl who is selling a lemonade, and on the right side there is a boy who is in demand. He needs to buy that lemonade. With the increase or decrease of supply and demand, the price affects. So we will see on the left side, it's written that demand falls, supply rises, so as the price falls. Let us see an example. Let's suppose I have a shop and I am selling bread of different brands. Now, opposite to my shop, there is another shop, and that shop is also selling different brands bread. Now, you have an option. Either you can buy it from me or either from the other shop, because the supply is more. Shop number 1 is also having lots of bread, and shop number 2 is also having lots of bread. So the supply is more. That's why the price is down. On the other hand, on the right side, if you can see on the picture, the demand rises as the supply falls, so the price rises. How this happens? If we have more demand of something, let me give you an example. Let's suppose you are traveling on a highway and suddenly you feel hungry. You will try to find any restaurant or any food chain so you can go and eat. The demand is high. The price will be high. The same ice cream which you can buy within a city for 2 real, when you will go on the highway, the same ice cream you have to buy it for 3 real or maybe 4 real. So that's a demand. The demand is high, the price will go high. So this is the way how price affects with the increase and decrease of supply and demand. Trade in the Islamic world. Trade routes between the Indian Ocean and Mediterranean Sea always pass through the Middle East. The geographical position of the Arabian Peninsula was very important for the economics of our region. During the Middle Ages, Arab and Persian businessmen were important middlemen. They helped different regions to communicate with each other, and they were the middlemen. The people of our region has to contact with people in the east and the west to trade products like rice, sugarcane, navigation instrument, because they were in the demand and people need these products. So they do the trade of these things in the Islamic world. Entrepreneurs. Who are entrepreneurs? I have explained you before. During the Middle Ages, many entrepreneurs came from the Middle East. The Karami family were famous entrepreneurs who traded over all Asia. They established large specialized trading centers all along the main trade routes. They prepared their children for their profession by sending them to other countries and to learn about those markets. They had agents in Africa, Asia, and Europe to import and export different products. The Karami family established large specialized trading centers. The main ones were in the big cities of Egypt and Yemen, as well as in Mecca, Medina, and Jeddah also. Changes in transport and communication. In ancient times, the caravan was a group of people and animals. They stay together, they stay in groups, and it was the cheaper and the safer way to travel long distances. The ways of traveling and using the transport have changed a lot. In the old times it was different, and in the new times it is really different. In the Middle East, people pack their animals and they use different ways to travel along different animals and different people. Let us see some transport, some ways of some transportations which has changed from the old time and have converted into the new times. As I explained you that in the old time people were traveling on camels, so that was the old way. And what is a new way? People are using cars. By using these cars, thousands of kilometers of roads can be covered within less time. You can imagine that if you are traveling on camel, so how much time will it take you to go from one place to another? But if you are traveling on a car, it will be faster than the camel. Same for the plane. In old times, the plane was faster from going to travel from one, not faster, just fast to go from one place to another. But you can see the design, only less people can sit in it. This is a new design. Millions of people can travel all over the world by this. It takes just few hours to reach the destination from one place to another. In old times, it takes days, weeks, and months to travel from one place to another. But by using the airplane, it takes just some hours to travel from one place to another. So the old times and the new times have changed the situation a lot, and it really helps the people to utilize less time and do more work in that time. Let us see some communication examples also. In the old time, we used to have these kind of phones. It was very difficult to communicate from the people who were far away. Sometimes they send letters, they have to send the message, and when the message has reached, the purpose has fallen. So after that, we had these phones, but these phones were also not that effective before because we have to keep them at home all the time. But the new technology has made this problem more easier. They give new mobiles. We can take these phones anywhere, and we can communicate with anyone wherever we are. So the change in the communication has improved the communication level a lot and much easier and better and accessible. Let us see the division of the labor. What is a meaning of division of a labor? The way we make products has changed over past few centuries. So we introduce this division of labor. What is it? It is a separation of a work process into a number of tasks, with each task performed by a separate person or group of persons. The Industrial Revolution introduced many machines to manufacture goods faster, and people start working in those factories to produce more and more products. This led to a system called division of labor. The work gets broken down into different tasks, and the people get trained to do that tasks. Let us see some example so you will be more clear what I am trying to explain you. You can see this is a group of people who are doing different tasks to make one product. We will start from the left side. You can see there is a girl who is doing framing. Let's suppose they have a business of a furniture. So she is framing the furniture. She is helping. Her duty is just to frame that product. The other boy next to her, is siding it. He's just siding that furniture, not doing any other thing. The third girl, she's painting it. She has just a responsibility to paint it. She doesn't have to frame it. She doesn't have to side it. She just have to paint that product. The fourth boy, he just have to inspect that is it painted well, is it sided well, is it framed well, is the design is perfect, is the design the same what we are offering to our customer. And at the last boy, he's just going to do the shipping. Shipping means he's going to send that product wherever it is demanded. And if, for example, if they are making it in Sweden, so they are going to ship that product to different countries wherever it is demanded. So the division of labor makes the things easier instead of one man doing all these tasks. Let us see the summary what we have learned today. Every day people buy and sell different commodities. We need many different resources, time, human work, and items like cloth, button, and thread to make one product. Ibn Khaldun identified the principle of supply and demand. The geographic position of the Arabian Peninsula was very important for the economics of our region because they helped people to trade. Trade routes between the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea always passed through the Middle East because they were the middlemen. During the Middle Ages, many entrepreneurs came from the Middle East. They found new opportunities to trade and make money for themselves. The Karimi family was famous entrepreneur who traded all over Asia. They established large specialized trading centers all along the main trade routes. The Industrial Revolution introduced many machines to manufacture goods faster, so they get more opportunities and more products to be produced. Thanks for watching. Hope you understand what we have learned today. We have learned how the trade was in the Islamic world. We learned about the entrepreneurs. We learned about the division of labor. We learned how the transport and the communication has changed with the time. Hope you enjoyed and see you next time.